Allu Arjun talking about the success of the fact that his film now is reaching out to a wider audience, and not just his film, but the fact that Indian cinema is appealing to the wider masses. Disco? Yeah. Hey guys, I'm just really the original Spiky D, and welcome here to another edition of a Trini Reaction to. As you know, here we feature the best in foreign language song dancing film out of India, southern India, 90% of the time. Now today I'll be looking at an interview with the stylish king Allu Arjun. This was done on the 28th of December on Pinkvilla channel, and I'll place the link to that channel in the description down below. The title of the video is Allu Arjun Decodes Icon, Daughter Arya acting debut with Samantha, and the success of Pushpa. Alright, so with that said, let's dive into this interview.
Basically, I was thinking we'll just test waters, but I'm very glad that it's paid off so well. And somewhere deep inside, I did have a feeling that it will pay because I have seen some kind of a pulse in North India, and I felt it might strike a chord, and I'm so glad it did. I think heartland of India misses that multi-genre film format films, and I give credit to the multi-genre film format. I call it the Indian cinema.
True.
Indian cinema format. Yeah. Kerala, it's my all-time highest. Tamil Nadu, all-time highest. Karnataka looks like all-time highest.
Yes.
Hindi, undoubtedly, like way, like it's opened up. It's opened up. I'm so glad. I was waiting. I was wishing for it deep down. I was wishing for something like this deep down somewhere. I'm believing that we can give much more in part 2. Now they've set the base with part 1, and we have an amazing opportunity to explore the best in part 2. We all are in a mindset.
This film has grossed over 200 crores at the box office so far, from my understanding. So it's a really successful film.
There is a good lineup. I would like to present it in a big scale and present it out to people in a big blown way.
So your daughter is also making her acting debut. How exciting is that, like, for the entire family? Hi guys, this is Himesh and welcome to Pinkvilla. Today we have with us the style icon Allu Arjun sir, whose film Pushpa has taken the box office by fire. Welcome to Pinkvilla sir, it's lovely having you here.
Thank you.
So firstly, how does it feel that the film has created so many records in the opening week itself? I think it's said to be the highest grossing film of the year in India. So
thank you very much.
Highest grossing film in India.
We didn't expect this, to be very honest. We were releasing it in Hindi. Basically, I was thinking we'll just test waters, but I'm very glad that it's paid off so well. And somewhere deep inside, I did have a feeling that it will pay because I have seen some kind of a pulse in North India, and I felt it might strike a chord, and I'm so glad it did.
But sir, you are known as the style icon. When Sukumar sir approached you with Pushpa, how did you first react? Because this is nothing.
Yeah,
like
this is
what
certainly not his look,
And
He
when I
always
asked him
stylish.
this, he was like, that was the reason why I went to him, because I wanted to present him in a very different light.
Very true. It was time to reinvent ourselves because when you are in a certain genre, it's good for an actor to experiment and reinvent yourself. And I was looking this as an opportunity to reinvent my my image.
Okay. So what was your first reaction when you heard of the character that you had to play in Pushpa?
Genuinely?
Yeah.
I was super kicked.
Oh.
I was super kicked because I felt that like whatever you're seeing today, I was somewhere waiting for something like this, and I'm so glad Sukumar Garu got it to me, and I know he'll give me full liberty to go on. He's some director who gives actor the
he's a great director, Sukumar.
And he pushes the actor to go all out.
And so, when I watched the film, I watched it with my family, and the first reaction that we had, like my father and mother, they were like, this film reminds us of the angry young man that Amitabh Bachchan was in the 70s.
Thank
so,
you.
how do you react to these compliments that are coming your way?
Yeah, to be compared with Amitabh Bachchan's character in the 70s.
They're giving me, they have complimented me with Amitabh ji because in a way I personally like Amitabh ji a lot, and when you're compared, I don't look at it as a comparison, I just look at it as a compliment. It's nice, Hindi cinema used to have this, how do you say, angry young man movies and maybe in the 1980s and
Yeah, 70s,
stuff like
yeah.
70s and 80s. I think from 90s onwards the trend changed. 90s and 2000s the trend changed towards a different vibe altogether. And I think once people see movies like this, I think they go back into that that retro zone.
Yeah.
You get back a nostalgic feeling.
If you look back, what do you think has worked for Pushpa when it comes to the Hindi audience? Because it released with a competition with Spider-Man, and everyone is surprised. If you look at the numbers now, it is actually the second highest film in Hindi as well after Suryavanshi.
Wow.
Oh, thank you. You keep a good track of all the numbers. Isn't it? It's good. Thank you. Thank you. In a way, I know some of it, but I'm not aware about all, the entire everyday records and stuff. But thank you. Coming to your question, I give credit to the Indian multi-genre format. The songs, the fights, the drama, the love story, the humor. In an Indian film, you
get everything in an Indian
if you
film.
take, our films have become a very typical. Like if you take any films, Western, abroad, they cater to only one or two genre films. It could be a horror comedy, or it could be just like a thriller, an action. It's not multi-genre. It doesn't have a musical. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Indian multi-genre format, I think heartland of India misses that multi-genre film format films, and I give credit to the multi-genre film format. I call it the Indian cinema.
True.
Indian cinema format. Yeah.
I think, and that has been the feedback that we have been getting even from the exhibitors who are in the heartland of India. That people are enjoying the film because of
Absolutely.
Yeah, it have a bit of everything.
Everything,
There's
everything.
something for everyone in the audience. No, I haven't seen the film
Pushpa,
yet
you have not dubbed
because it didn't come to the
Are you
Caribbean.
planning to get into that space as well, because the fans will get closer to experiencing the kind of command that you have over your voice as well. I have seen a lot of your Telugu films, so I know that. So
I'm open. Let's see. For me, ultimately, I want to give people a great product, whether with my voice, without my voice. Personally, for me, it doesn't matter much. I want people to get the best film. That's my. I want to entertain them. If my voice serves the purpose, that's great. If somebody else's voice serves the purpose, that's great. I want people to have a good film. That's all that matters.
And so, I was just researching about, Indian actors per se. And if I'm not wrong, you're among the very few actors who have delivered a hit film in all five states. From Kerala to
Karnataka.
Kannada to Telugu, Tamil Nadu, and now
Oh,
Hindi as
okay.
well. And I think this has happened with Rajni sir and Shankar sir and Rajamouli film. How does that feel? It is a very rare achievement for an actor to be popular in all 5 states per se.
Yeah, I consider myself very, very, very fortunate. The reason to be popular in these 4 states, I'd give my upbringing the credit, because I was born in Chennai, and we grew up in a city. I was born in Chennai and raised in Chennai, and then on my growing days, I used to have a very strong connection with Bangalore. Because we used to aspire to go to Bangalore all the time, and Kerala is where I have a very special welcome and I have a very special love over there in Kerala, and Telugu is obviously
They're like home.
hometown. So I think by covering up all, I have a very strong connection with all these, and of course the Hindi audience, by the last 10 years they've also been seeing the multi-genre formats, the films that have been dubbed. So last 10 years they've also been seeing us on television and stuff like that. So I think this thing didn't happen today.
Yeah, it was
And,
set in the making, it
all
had
the
a
100
foundation
sugar
going
cube
forward. Yeah.
You put 99 sugar cubes, it doesn't move, 1 kilo. But the moment you put the 99, the 100th one, the whole thing changes.
True.
I think it's like the 100 sugar cube effect.
Correct, because even now people the Telugu collections are of course fantastic, but people are very surprised with the collection in Tamil Nadu and Hindi circuit.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah, it's played phenomenally well in other states,
Yeah.
not just Telugu
That's-
states. Kerala, it's
That's because of your appeal, dude.
Tamil Nadu,
You're a
all-time
stylish
highest.
one.
Karnataka looks like all-time highest.
Yes.
Hindi undoubtedly way like it's opened up. It's opened up. I'm so glad. I was wishing for something like this deep down somewhere, and I'm so glad it's manifesting. Now.
and what's more fascinating, at least for me, is this isn't even an full-blown big-scale commercial film that have conventionally worked in other belts.
Absolutely.
Like it is not an Ala Vaikunpuramlo.
Absolutely.
So that is again a big feat to capture these places with a film like Pushpa. So yeah.
Well, I think that's the beauty, we don't know what works sometimes.
Yeah.
What we think is what we think works the most might not work, and what we think might not works.
Yeah, because
that's
they're changing
I
dynamic,
think we should
in
be
terms of
always be
audience, what they
open.
want.
I think that maybe there's a huge there's a huge possibility. I don't think we should ever underestimate the possibilities.
And so, Telugu cinema conventionally has been known for the two terms. One is mass, one is heroism. How do you define these two terms? Because this is among I think the only industry which constantly churns out mass entertainers and portraying heroes like heroes the way fans want to see them in. So, how would you define
Mass,
these two?
yeah. I didn't know about mass until South
With
Indian
due
cinema.
respect, every industry, specializes in certain genre, like certain things what Bollywood does. I don't like to use the word Bollywood. I'll rephrase that. Certain films that Hindi cinema does, I think it's phenomenal. Like genuinely phenomenal. Like the way they can, touch glamour, the way they can do songs, the way they can do romance. And if you see Tamil films, the way they can do gritty, the way they can do humor. When you see Malayalam films, the way they can do thrillers, the way they
That's
do
right.
very thought-provoking films. So every industry has its own.
Yeah, it have its
genre, is now
niche.
doing up their, they're coming up with mass, nice, huge-scale films. Every industry has its own special, what do you call it, strength.
Yeah.
I'd say the strength for Telugu film industry is that they understand mass films a lot. They understand heroism very, very well. They understand grand scale. So I think because of that, Telugu film industry, and it caters to a wider audience. I think that's the reason why, the size of Telugu film industry is so big.
True.
Because we cater to a wider section of audience.
Correct. And so, now Sukumar sir said that Pushpa 2 will start sometime in February, by end of
Yes.
February.
Yes.
How excited are you for that? and how responsible do you feel after this sort of response that?
Genuinely, I'm very charged. I'm very enthusiastic to shoot it because I'm believing that we can give much more in part 2. Now they've set the base with part 1.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing opportunity to explore the best in part 2. We all are in a mindset to give our best.
But seeing the success, have there been discussions about elevating some things in terms of scale or confrontations or seeing?
Yeah. Obviously, once the movie goes into people and there's a lot of feedback, and there'll be those small things that we could have gone this way. No matter how big a hit it is, we'll always
Yeah, in
find,
hindsight,
scope for
yeah.
betterment. We felt that these can be explored more. These are the things that I've enjoyed. People are enjoying.
Yeah.
I think we should explore those more in the part 2. There are moments like that. There are. I think we will. I think we will tweak a lot of things when it comes to part 2.
Correct, because even Rajamouli sir had to tweak Bahubali 2 after the phenomena that
Absolutely.
part 1.
It does play on your mind. It does play on your mind.
And so, as an actor, also, does that play on your mind? Not talking about franchisee, but when you go pan India with your films, like I'm sure after Pushpa, you will be, most of your films are going to be pan India.
Hopefully.
So I'm sure because people have accepted you. It's there. So will that alter your script selection in that sense? Because when you were doing Telugu films, you had a certain audience
Right.
in mind, and now you're catering to entire country. So
I want to be very authentic. I think if you're authentic in your language, people will feel the authenticity in other languages too.
okay.
So I think I should make a great Telugu film, which will have a great appeal in other languages. I don't think we should pollute that much. Just adjusting it a little bit here and there is fine, but I don't think we should pollute the authenticity of your own language.
Oh, that's actually very interesting take. I think basically people will accept the film and the culture for what
it is, yeah.
Absolutely.
I
think
agree with
there's
you,
a lot
sir.
of beauty even when we watch another film, abroad film. Even if I'm watching a Hindi film, for example, and the universe is set somewhere in North India, and even if I'm watching the Telugu dub version, my mindset is this is a Hindi film. I'm seeing Hindi actors. I know it's not their original dub voices, but I'm still going to go with the authenticity of the film and what they're trying to say. I think that's how even South Indian films will be watched, and I think that's how films worldwide are watched. Even if you see big shows, in Netflix and everything like that, even it could be in your language, but they know it's happening there.
Correct.
I think audience are very smart and sorted that ways.
And so, what are your lineup of films like after Pushpa?
Well, I think the lineup should be blasted into a big function. I just don't want to blast it on, there is a good lineup. I would like to present it in a big scale and present it out to people in a big blown way. Definitely, I don't want to leave it out.
Because there are a couple of rumors in the
A lot of
media.
there rumors always,
yeah,
no?
Because there is one title which people resonate, that is Icon.
Ah,
Which is being in the making for a long. I think it's finally happening. That is what the talk is. So
I think as of now, Pushpa 2 is good. The rest of the, I think, give me some time for me to say it. For me to officially announce it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's just not my thing. It's the director, the whole team. We have to come together, make a huge announcement, and the announcement itself is planned in a, it's a big thing for us. I think we'll tell you when the time comes.
at the press conference when you had come to Mumbai,
Yes.
you said that you are looking to do a out and out Bollywood film as well.
Yes. Why not?
So what kind of script are you looking
I'm
to
open.
explore? Any?
I'm open. I'm open.
Okay.
It all depends upon. I'm open. Genuinely, I want to do a good
Right.
film. So I don't have conditions. I don't have conditions. I just want to do a good film.
Okay. And so talking of Pushpa 2, can we expect it to release next year itself? Like, what's the?
Hopefully, I want to release it in 20.
Okay. Yeah, I don't delay too long. Once it doesn't have any delay with
How
shooting.
exciting is that? Like for the entire family.
I don't know till I watch it on screen. I've seen it in shoot and I've seen it on monitor. But when you watch the whole film on screen with the music and the dubbing and stuff, then I have to see it. It is cute as of now. Definitely, it's very cute to just see your own child do it. I mean, obviously it's cuter to me because she's my
Right,
child.
right.
I hope people can relate to that cuteness.
How do you view the idea of this cinema going pan-India? It started with, I think, in 2015. Actually, it started with Makhi in 2012. And then Bahubali, and then it has been no looking back since then. How do you view this entire thing of every industry coming together now and representing Indian cinema?
Absolutely amazing, right? Because each industry grows. Tomorrow when Hindi cinemas get dubbed over here and and they're going into other languages, the size of Hindi cinema is growing big. Same way Telugu cinema and other regional cinemas, when we're dubbing into other languages and being received by the audience, with large-heartedness, I think every industry grows once there is a lot of spillover.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great, beautiful trend. And I'm looking at, it's not about Hindi cinema or Telugu cinema or Tamil cinema anymore. I think the future is all about everything onto one platform called India.
That's right.
Pushpa has been
That's what
appreciated.
I
There
look
is
at it
audience
as.
all across there have been phenomenal number. But there is this one moment which I'm sure would have been beyond all the appreciation. We have a picture of yours. I'll just show it on the camera and then to you.
Yeah.
What was going on? This seems to be a very special moment if we look at it.
Yeah.
So
It's my, she's like my mom.
Yeah.
She's my aunt.
Yeah.
And she saw the movie's first half and she was very excited.
Yeah.
She is like my mom.
Right.
She got very excited. She came and she kissed me from the back. The whole euphoria, she was a little taken away to see the whole movie, at once with the people and everything. I think she got very emotional. She just kissed me. Why did you like that picture?
yes, it is actually a very sweet and emotional picture that it has been viral on internet as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's his aunt.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
lovely talking to you,
Thank
and
you.
looking forward to Pushpa 2 and all
Me
your
too.
other- Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. And you've done a great homework, huh? By the
Thank
way.
you, sir.
You've done very good homework. I'm quite impressed.
Thank you so much, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's the end of the interview. It's very interesting to know that pan-Indian success, right, in terms of films that has been released in pan-India in all the other states, right, is really coming from the south. I think that is what is really standing out to me because I don't know if there has been a Hindi film that probably was released in a pan-India way. I don't know if there is, and you're watching this this interview with me. Kindly let me know. But As I said, the gentleman said that it was he said there was a film before Bahubali, and then there was Bahubali, and now there are so many other films that is coming out in that pan-India aspect, and but it is really in relation to South Indian cinema, so it is great to know that the content that is coming out from there is appealing to a larger audience. And the sometimes, language, right, when you don't understand language, that is a deterrent, but that's the reason why they do the dub versions. And that is why it is important to have subtitles when sometimes you are doing certain material or content. So, like for example, right, the reason why I'm looking at these interviews is because it's in English, right? Now there's a lot of interviews with Allu Arjun, Prabhas, and all these major superstars from the South, but it's not subtitled. There is no English in it, so it's very difficult to find material that I from the West could understand because of the language barrier. It's a great interview in terms of Allu Arjun talking about the success of the fact that his film now is reaching out to a wider audience, and not just his film, but the fact that Indian cinema is appealing to the wider masses, and that barrier of language isn't there anymore, which is fantastic for the entire industry. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for stopping by today, checking out this interview with Allu Arjun as he talks about the success of Pushpa and his expectations and probably what they can work on for Pushpa Part 2. Alright, so if you do like this video, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. Keep coming back for more. I'm usually Spike Day. Wherever you guys are in the world, stay safe, remaining good health. See you pretty soon with another reaction. Do take care. Have a great day and peace out.